Bitcoin just lost $100,000 and the altcoins are melting. How low is Bitcoin about to go? We're going to be covering critical levels for Bitcoin's price action, Bitcoin's dominance, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. Smash those likes, hit that subscribe. And like always, I'm Blockchain Crusader with the Real World Asset Watchlist. And if you guys aren't hitting that subscribe, you guys are missing out on the alpha here every single day. Now, let's jump right into it, starting off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had a major drop, falling out of its previous day range right here. We hit this resistance zone, this red zone, and we swept the previous day high, the Monday high, late last night, or I should say early last night at 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and since then we started coming down. We also got some bad economical job data on the market today, which did not help this and just accelerated the fuel to drop to the downside. Now that we lost the previous day high, we came all the way down, losing the Monday low, which is critical here, right? So we've lost the Monday range completely and now have come back into the previous week range. This previous week range right here is critical that we hold this green support. If we do not hold this weekly pivot here of 96,200 and we start to fall below this, guys, there is no stops all the way down until $93,714 for Bitcoin. So we better hope and pray that Bitcoin can hold support here at 96,171 so we can start seeing Bitcoin climbing back above into the Monday range, reclaiming the Monday low so that we can start making any type of effort to start making a move towards the previous week highs here and make a move towards that 104. Because if not, if this area is lost, as you guys can see, it's flirting with it right now. It's flirting with this drop. If we do lose this, the next drop is to 93,700, which once again takes us back towards this red zone. And this red zone has been the $92,000 area that we've tested multiple times, as you guys can see here, back in December 20th, December 23rd, and at the end of December 30th, once again, and it's held. But you can only hit support so many times before you lose it. We do not want to test our luck here, because if we do lose 92,000, if we do come down and we start to lose 92,000, we got no stops under 92 until $87,000 to $86,000 before things can get real ugly with levels all the way as low as $80,000, right? We have a yearly untapped pivot down here. We have a daily naked point of control down here. We have lots of targets down here. We've got an untapped CME gap that has not been filled down there. We do not want to test Bitcoin here, and we do not want to push our luck by dropping below 92,000. Now let's jump into Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has broken out of its downward trend to the upside, rotating the previous week range, heading towards its target of the previous week naked point of control of 58%. Currently, we're having a little bit of pullback here on the 4-hour, but overall, the daily pivot of 57% had been support when we came back down yesterday, retested this, bounced back up. Now, if we hit this area here, right, this area of resistance up here, we should hit this area and we get rejection here, right? This would be good for Bitcoin, for altcoins, right? The Bitcoin dominance starts to drop back down below. If we lose 57 after getting rejected from here, our targets down here are the 56.9 and 56.8% area. This area has been support in the past. We have held this as support here. So if we can break this support and continue this trend to the downside, going back towards the July lows of 54%, let me tell you guys, the altcoins are going to rally. We do not want to see Bitcoin getting above 58%. If Bitcoin breaks above 58%, we need to be aware that we still have a November naked point of control untapped level all the way up at 60.48% for the Bitcoin dominance. And if we see Bitcoin go for this ride, it can get real bad for the altcoins, right? That means that Bitcoin dominance is rising. Most likely could be also potentially that Bitcoin price is dropping at the same time, heading towards lower levels. And that is going to make a run from the altcoins to the downside, right? Money's going to be flowing out of the altcoins, and we do not want to see that if we want to see a big altcoin rally here in quarter one. Now, that doesn't mean that quarter one is going to be doom and gloom straight out of the gate here. This is just right now on the short term for the next week or so. We need to see Bitcoin dominance get rejected here at 58% and start breaking down and losing 56 to really start seeing altcoins be able to have a chance to rally. Now let's get started with the altcoins. Ethereum, the first Mac Daddy of all altcoins right now, has also fallen into its previous week range, right? Got rejected at the Monday high once again at 3,744 and has fallen back down along with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has dragged the entire market to the downside. Now, this happening, where is Ethereum going to stop? Well, right now we're below this area, right? We're inside the area of the previous week range. We have two levels here that are untapped. We have a daily pivot that has been that's untapped, and a previous week naked point of control, which is also the quarter 4 point of control here at $3,339. So this little area right here should be support for Ethereum. Now, if this area does not hold as support, our next target is going to be the previous week value area low at 32.98. Right, losing this area will take us down to the yearly and potentially the quarterly and yearly pivot, which is 32.54 and worst case 31.65, which is a total pullback from where we are right now. It doesn't seem too bad, right? 2.5%, 2.25, 3.5% to this first target, and then to this next target, 6.26%. But from the top where we've been at, right, this is a total pullback right now of just this week of potentially all the way down to 15.5%, which is a pretty big drop overall for the altcoins. And if Ethereum is experiencing this, it can get really bad for the smaller cap altcoins as well. So we need to be very careful here. We need to see Ethereum bouncing off this area here of support. So far, even though Bitcoin has been dropping very drastically, Ethereum has been dropping a little bit slower and front-running targets, which we don't want to see. We want it to just hit the target, find support, and start finding a bounce. We don't want to see the price playing around above these targets and then have a later drop down the line, right? We want to just tap these targets, find support, build, and let the bulls come in and take over and start pushing us back up. For Ethereum to actually have some potential back to the upside, besides the fact that Bitcoin needs to reclaim some higher levels and get back above 100K, we need to see Ethereum really break out of the previous week range. So first off, first real big sign of life for Ethereum is getting above the previous week high here, previous week value area high at 35.11. Breaking above that would be a very good sign of strength for Ethereum, and then getting back into this Monday range between the Monday high and the Monday low of 3,600 would be very, very critical for Ethereum, showing lots of strength, potentially also leading the altcoins, leading a charge for the altcoins as well, as we do know that fundamentally for Ethereum, quarter 1 of Ethereum is very, very bullish in the historical patterns. Since 2017, we've only had 2 red quarter 1s for Ethereum, and that was in 2018, a bear market, and 2022, another bear market. And we are not in a bear market, guys. We are in a bull market. So we are expecting to see something of the same here for quarter 1 of this year, having somewhere between 5 to 80% move, right? The median to average here is between 5.5% to about 82% move to the upside for quarter 1, which means big altcoin rally, big Ethereum move, Bitcoin moving towards all-time highs as well. So I'm still very bullish, even though we're having some short-term pullbacks here right now, and I'm personally taking advantage of these pullbacks. Up next, we got Solana. Solana has fallen out of its previous week regression trend. Right? We were a nice steep uptrend, showing a lot of strength here, finding support here on this lower band of the trend. But unfortunately, Bitcoin said, "Hey, not anymore. We're pulling back." And we have re-entered the previous week range as well. We have lost the weekly pivot of 206. Our next big target down here would be the quarterly pivot of 195 for support. But if that does not hold, most likely if we rotate this full range to the downside, this is going to be highly dependent on Bitcoin continuing to pull back. As you can see, Solana has pulled back less than Ethereum has. It pulled back less than Bitcoin has. Solana's actually been holding up pretty well here. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get all the way down to 189, but we just don't know how far Bitcoin's going to go with this pullback. If Bitcoin begins to lose support, Solana's not going to be immune to that pullback, and we'll continue to push back down here. So our big support here is the previous week naked point of control at 190 for Solana in the previous week range. We want to be holding between 190 to as low as the value area low of 185. If that is lost, we do have, that puts us back into the quarter 4 range, right? The quarter 4 range is a way larger range that Solana created once we closed out 2024. We have a yearly pivot down at 177 for that. If once we lose 185, 177 is the next big target, and below 177 is the quarter 4 naked point of control down at 167, which from where we are right now, this total pullback would be 18% pullback, we'll have a 13% pullback down to the yearly pivot and about another 9% to the value area low if we continue pulling back here from where we are with Solana. Now, targets to the upside. We still have a monthly untapped level of 226 and a macro gold pocket, or I should say a local gold pocket up at 233 within the December range. So meanwhile, we stay within the December range, this larger range up here, the targets to the upside is 226 to 233 before, facing this resistance zone here. This is all resistance. We got a lot of targets. Naked point of control, gold pocket. We got a value area high of Q4. So this is red for a reason because this will be resistance once we get there. But we need to show some signs of breaking out of this previous week range, getting above 209 and starting to make a run back up for that 225. But meanwhile, we stay within the previous week range. The local targets are 190. Now, last but not least, XRP. I know you guys love XRP, so you guys better smash those likes and hit that subscribe because XRP community, here we go, right? XRP overall has been ranging very tight within December, right? And we are within the December range still. Now, this previous week range here that we're in right now, we came up and hit this local gold pocket. We hit this local gold pocket. We kind of just went sideways. We're trying to find support. Now Bitcoin started pulling back. XRP hasn't had any major pullback today. It's only pulled back about, let's see here, 8% overall, nothing big, right? We're holding up the monthly pivot here. The monthly pivot at 228 is holding as support. If this area is lost, our next target to the downside from down here to this high, the local gold pocket here is at 217. Losing this will take us down to 217. Worst case scenario, the value area low for the previous week range is down at 213. You guys know that XRP has held this green zone here as support very, very strongly since the beginning of December. We've tested this multiple times, holding between 208 and 196. Now, if for whatever reason this area is lost, we do have targets to the downside. We always got targets to the downside, guys. The downside targets would be the quarterly pivot at 183, and the yearly pivot at 179 before coming down to 171. And we don't want to be looking at much lower levels than that, which they are possible, but we don't expect that kind of pullback, right? That kind of pullback would be a first pullback here to this local gold park, another 4%. This value area low, 6%. To the bottom of this green zone will be a 13% pullback. And to this first target down here will be a 19% pullback, 21, and then potentially worst case 24%. For XRP or any major altcoin to pull back about 25%, that means Bitcoin's pulling back 10% plus minimum. 10%, at least 10%, and altcoins will drop 20% plus, right? But Bitcoin is not showing any signs of that just yet. Meanwhile, Bitcoin holds this support here. We hold this area and we don't come down to 93 or lose 93. Altcoins should be able to hold up, and I do not expect a 20-something% plus pullback for altcoins just yet. So no time to massively panic, but it is time to be keeping an eye on some altcoins, doing some research, and making sure you guys have a game plan. Because look at the market, my friends. Look at the market right now. The market is red. And one thing, never financial advice, that I love to do is I love to buy on red days. I don't buy anything on a green day. If it's a red day, it's a fire sale for me, and I'm looking to dollar cost average. Gotta start. I've always liked to dollar cost average strategically, right? There are improper ways of doing it. We're not gonna get into that in this video because this is not about financial advice. Just a little strategy tip there that I'm doing in the markets right now. Like always, guys, I'm Blockchain Crusader with Real World Asset Watchlist. Let us know down below in the comments what other altcoins you guys want us covering in this channel here, and make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.